weird fucking guys. You're doing a manly thing and you're a fucking dork.
I've got my lightsaber wearing my Pokemon hat today. Like, what the fuck is this?
Wow, you're a real Renaissance man, you know that?
Goddamn man-child.
What a fucking dork.
Yeah. But he's our dork.
This is not for children.
God damn it, John. Put your fucking headphones on. Get your head in the game, man. Get your head in the game. What's the matter? You're like dragging ass, man. Get your fucking head in the game.
What's going on, dude?
Oh, great. These little monsters are going to interrupt us already. Go away! Daddy's doing important things! I love you. Close the door. Dude, now I feel like the worst father ever. Dude, I secretly... anyway, good morning, John.
What's up, man?
I secretly love motivational speeches.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like one of these dorks. I won't like, it's like a guilty pleasure, dude. Like, I'm scrolling through TikTok, and if some dipshit, like, edits some, like, good, epic music over top of, like, a...
Good motivational...
Yeah, like a Rocky speech. You know, come on, Rock!
Yeah.
You're down on the ropes. You gotta get back in there. Just, you know, and...
That's a lot of your fucking reels and shit that you see on social media
love it, dude.
anymore. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm, like, in a funk, and I just watch one.
I think when I'm, like, motivated, I like it. But when I'm not motivated, I don't want to see it at all.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah, that's when I need it, man. That's when I need it, you know?
When I was, like, real hard and exercising and stuff like that, I loved listening to David Goggins.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know, like, you don't want to be reminded of, like, what a piece of shit you are when you're not doing something, you know? So...
Do you think that, like other professions need that? Like, you think sometimes, like a porn actor, like, wakes up and he's just like...
I don't want to do this today.
You know, man, I've done all the coke that I could.
Dude, I wouldn't be able to be in that situation at all. I mean, I just... Not because... I just don't think it would be fun.
Yeah?
No. I mean, you know, you got a guy over your shoulder with a camera, you know?
Yeah.
I think it sounds, you know, I don't know. I don't want to get into a whole conversation about porn again.
Do we always? It's what we do, man.
Yeah. I would just
we
think,
should
like,
name this the porn
podcast.
Yeah.
I think, like, well, I mean, really, like, that's a profession. You know what I mean? It's a profession based on, like, fantasy, and very rarely does it, like, depict what actually would happen between two people. And I don't know, it's just like, and then you think about the production that goes into it, you know, the camera angles and the, you know.
I think it's so nuts. And don't worry, we'll transition eventually
Yeah,
away
let's get
from
out
this.
of this porn talk
No, but
soon.
dude, think about the AVMs, the adult video.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's nuts that porn stars sit around and like, dude, you got fucked really good in that one.
You deserve
like,
an award,
dude,
for that anal scene.
You remember that scene where 8 dudes fucking jizzed on your face? Here's an award for that.
Yeah.
You did it better than all the other girls that did it that year.
I watched
because many years have gone by and lots of women have gotten jizzed on the face just for the camera.
Sometimes I just like hearing like about like how certain things become what they are, like the making of.
Yeah.
And I was watching, I would rather watch a documentary about porn than watch actual porn sometimes.
It's definitely fascinating.
It's fascinating
to see like the behind the scenes, which I think everybody realizes. That,
I love when reality clashes with fantasy.
Well, dude, you know, because I've watched many of them documentaries, and you don't realize that like these actors and actresses, mostly the actresses, their career is only a couple years.
Yeah.
You know, like by year 2 or 3, you're burnout. You know, like you're fucking like, dude, I don't want to have sex with another human ever again.
Especially on
You know?
camera.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, like, that's all you ever become remembered for. Like,
yeah,
like one of the worst stories is like Linda Lovelace.
yeah,
You know, like, she like kind of got forced into the whole industry, and then she finally got out of it, and now she's dead. You know, she died in like a car accident, and she was like a strong advocate against porn. But it's probably the only thing that a lot of people remember her doing is porn. You know, that's a shame.
It definitely like there's been women over the years that I like was like, you know, let me keep an eye on her content, and it's pretty depressing when you see like, so like there's a recent girl, this girl that's Lebanese, her name's Mia Khalif.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Dude, beautiful chick, you know, but she only did porn for like a couple years, and now I watched some interview where she said, dude, she was in a restaurant one time, and some dude and woman, like a married couple, walked up and was trying to talk to her about her porn career.
She's probably just trying to eat a fucking...
Yeah, well, she was with her husband, and she's like, dude, she's been, like, going back to school and, like, trying to change her path, you know? And, like, it's kind of heartbreaking because she was like, dude, I'm out to dinner right now. I don't want to
talk about porn. I don't want
to talk about any of this. So then, I think... so she kind of told him, like, no, please go away. I don't want to talk about this. So then the wife said something like, well, yeah, see, like, you know, she can't talk because she doesn't have a dick in her mouth right now, or something, like some nasty thing.
Oh, wow.
And dude, like, the girl had to, like, she was, like, broken down. She was like, oh my God, this is all you're ever going to know about me is that I had sex. All of us have sex.
Yeah.
It's just that I did it on camera, so I'm the bad guy.
You know? There's a really weird, what's the word for it? There's a word that I'm thinking in my brain that I can't just fucking articulate it. It'll come to me.
Like hypocrisy of...
Nah, it's just like this, I don't know, like there's an aesthetic to it that just, like, people don't know how to separate reality from, you know, from the fiction of it, I guess. Like a juxtaposition, I guess, is what I'm trying to think of, is like two things that go together but don't really fit together. So, like, you know, sex is like the most intimate thing you can do. Like I think of like having sex with somebody I've never had sex with, and just think like, you know, dudes do it all the time. They walk around and they see women and they go, oh my God. But if you were really put in that position, there would be some sort of anxiety about it.
Oh, yeah.
That just would not feel natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, your insecurities would take over and all that stuff. Like, video and doing it on camera makes it seem like those feelings don't even exist. You know, like you run into some fucking good-looking guy in the hallway and 2 seconds later you're going down on him or something. Like, that doesn't happen.
Well, I think that's why they do...
It's a fantasy.
Yeah, but even the people performing, it is acting. It is acting, you know? And, like... I don't know, man. Like, I understand making a job of it, and you're like, okay, this is my job, and this is what I'm going to do now, you know? But it's like...
and money's a great motivator, you know, but...
So that's the other edge of the thing, is, like, the girl Mia Khalif. So you're complaining about your porn career, but you're also retired at 25 years old.
Yeah.
So there's kind of... I'm like, dude, I'm not very sympathetic that when you do something so extreme... but it financially sets you apart independently.
That's kind of the price
for the
you pay.
rest of your fucking life.
Yeah.
When I look at retired football players and they're all fucked up and banged up,
there's a reason why you got paid as much as you got paid.
Dude, it's not.
It wasn't going to be.
It's nobody's fault that you don't have money, but yourself.
Yeah.
You went and bought a fucking island in the Maldives or
while
whatever.
You were running into people like you were a freight train. And
dude.
And your body's breaking down.
You know, you're handing out fucking Cadillac Escalades to all your fucking friends. Well, dude, that's not an investment. That's a fucking.
Nope. It's just frivolous. It's not needed.
Yeah. So but, I don't know. I'm not sympathetic. But anyway, like the AVMs, man. I was thinking, like, dude, what if other professions like started doing that? So this is how we can segue into something else. Like, what if morticians fucking decided, like, dude, we're gonna have like an award ceremony, like, Dude, you fucking killed it on that old dead guy. Like, you fucking made him look great, dude.
What best reconstructive makeup job? It's like
they
somebody
just-
that like got their face smashed with a brick or something like that, and you completely reconstructed their face with like Elmer's glue or some shit like that. And now we're gonna give you an award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kid was drinking and driving and fucking all fucking doped up on fucking oxys and fentanyl and put his face through the windshield and
Yeah.
hit a telephone pole.
And you
But
made him
God
look like he
damn, you made him look good,
Yeah.
you know?
Dude, I'll tell you what, that must be a fucking crazy profession too.
So, I actually have, so my cousin's husband runs a funeral home in this area, like local.
Yeah.
Nicest guy in the world. Dude, when he's at work, super professional. He's very clean cut looking. He's got a comb over. He looks very sharp, very clean cut, Handsome dude. Like, he does it really well. He gets up there. He says what he has to say. He probably has, like, a script in his head of, like, things like, okay, this is how we do, the funerals. But dude, outside of work, when you sit there and talk to him, like, he's actually like pretty funny, but he's like very reserved. Like, he's it's funny because it's like, dude, he'll let loose and drink and like have some laughs and like even my content with all the cursing and stupid shit that I do. Like, dude, he thinks it's great. He's like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
But he knows how to turn it off and turn it back on.
It's mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
That like
your attitudes about certain things have to play into that too.
Yeah.
Like your perception of death and all that stuff. I mean, imagine all the shit you see on a daily basis.
I can't imagine.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it day in and day out.
And they cut people open. Like, dude, they cut them
It's
open.
not just that. I
take
mean,
them-
but like so many people die.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're just getting middle-aged dudes and old people. I mean, like, children come through there.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
I couldn't handle the kids.
I couldn't
thing.
handle it either. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and then, people that die from violence, people that die from accidents. Like, you're seeing a lot of stuff that you have to become desensitized to. And, like,
Yeah.
I used to know guys that worked at funeral homes when I was growing up. And one of the kids was like, don't you ever feel scared picking one of those bodies up? And he's like, no, you could be afraid of the live ones, not the dead ones. And it's just like, dude, like,
Yeah.
scary, man.
So I think they should do a morticians awards, like like
You're recognized.
put a
for-
bunch of pictures up. They should do it like they should publicize it, do it on TV, like on ABC or NBC or something, and just like look at this photo. This fucking kid. He was riding a crotch rocket up 95 in Philly and just scattered his fucking remains all the way up the highway. And this guy right here, fucking Billy, he reconstructed the whole fucking thing. He used toothpicks and glue and fucking, and a little bit of fucking, rubber face mask and shit, and glued all this shit back together. So grandma can look at her
you could be-
grandkid again.
What's crazy is like you're devoting your time to doing something like. There's people that can do that. Like they can
Oh yeah,
reconstruct
dude.
you.
It's like a real art.
I mean, listen, my dad died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
And you would think that would be a pretty easy thing to like take care of.
Yeah.
When I saw my dad in the casket, he had a look of distress on his face still.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was like, why does he look so like distressed? So like,
Well, I imagine they can't really move once the muscles.
Right. You can't do a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
But you can make like somebody who's been in an accident look like, or somebody who's been shot. You can cover bullet holes and all this shit.
Yeah.
And reconstruct fucking faces and heads and all. And like,
isn't that wild, man?
why aren't you working in movies? Like,
Yeah,
why aren't you
dude.
doing like something?
Because the movies don't care. Because they
Yeah.
won't put a dick in their mouth, So, yeah.
Crazy.
Back to the porn stars.
I watched a crazy documentary about porn the other day, man.
Yeah.
It's called Porndemic.
Yeah.
And it's basically about like HIV and porno.
Really?
And they were kind of saying like, you don't ever see a whole lot of condoms in porn because it brings people down. Like I have seen it.
Yeah.
But they say it's a downer, like this is a fantasy business. We're out here to put out a fantasy. And when you put something like a condom on and you see it, like there's a connotation in people's mind that makes them go, that's not sexy,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I understand that, like for the like the illusion of whatever. And then, but it turns out like this one porn star was like falsifying his records.
Really?
And like pretty well known porn star too. He was like falsifying his records. Turned out he was like an IV drug user, and he was also doing some homosexual stuff, maybe like a male prostitute type thing or something. And he had infected like 5 women.
Oh my god.
And they were kind of, this one other porn actress who's actually a doctor, she was like figuring out the genealogy of everybody, who everybody was with. She had charts of who was performed with who and everything else. And like she came down to patient 0, turned out to be this one actor. And she had to like expose him. Kinda.
Yeah.
But it was just bizarre. Like it was such a crazy documentary, and it just like you really realized the reality of this stuff. Like you know, everybody just, you know, you go on your phone, you watch something.
I mean, I'm blown away by the fact that you said, and I know that it happens, but like you said that she was a doctor.
Yeah, her
did
name's
porn.
Yeah,
you know?
she was like a pretty well-known porn actress. I mean, I've seen her in videos like growing up.
Yeah,
Sharon Mitchell. Her name's Sharon Mitchell. Turns out she's a fucking doctor.
So I do know, I met Joanna Angel one time years ago when I was in film school, and like I was interning somewhere, and they did like editing and stuff for her and her company, BurningAngel.com. So like when she was arriving, they told me, they were like, dude, she, believe it or not, is super fucking intelligent and went to NYU for business management, and like this is why she has her own company, because she basically started her own company and is probably like a 100 fucking millionaire now, you know? So like some of these people, Jenna Jameson, another one, like Jenna Jameson is like, dude.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, other than the movies that I don't know a whole lot about her outside of it.
She like revolutionized taking the power back to like the women, really, because like she created like this whole like merch thing, you know, like even like dipshits like so I'm getting into it a little bit with my t-shirts and whatever, and you and I have talked about it. But like, dude, in porn, that was like unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a time they put out like a series of like sculpted action figures of porn stars. Yeah, man. And like, you imagine the royalties that there's people out there that are buying stuff like that.
So she's kind of the one that like revolutionized that and started making like, you know, like rubber vaginas and blow-up dolls and like she started owning her own content and making her own production company, and like.
So she's getting paid royalties on stuff like that. That's wild.
Fucking amazing business person.
Because like, I think like Asia Carrera was actually, she's a member of Mensa.
Really?
Yeah, she's a fucking really intelligent woman.
Yeah.
And you just think like, because they're just having sex and they're fucking sexy and they're hot and all that stuff, like these are like empty-minded fucking like drug-addled fucking crazy people, and like not all of them really are, I guess.
Well,
you know?
I mean, even if I do know this from my experience as a recovering addict, that some of the most intelligent, talented people that I've ever met
are flawed.
Well, fell into addiction because addiction doesn't. You know, the biggest misconception is like, oh, well, I come from a good family. I don't, you know, that would never happen to me.
It happens to anybody.
Dude, the problem with the opioid epidemic, so the crack epidemic was easy to point the finger at and say, oh, look, it only happens in black communities. We're safe. But you're not, because there's plenty of white people that have smoked crack. Yeah, come to my fucking meetings and you'll find a lot of them. You know,
there's guys that work in offices all over this area that are smoking crack.
Dude. So, but the opioid epidemic was like the big eye-opener of like, holy shit, drugs can get to any community. I don't give a fuck if it's a beautiful gated community outside of D.C., bless you.
Excuse me.
That all of the houses are worth $1 million or $2 million. There's a fucking opioid addict in that community. And there's probably more than one. You know?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to, you know, listen. I can sit here and tell you how grateful I am that I never developed an opioid addiction.
Yeah.
Because...
just masturbation.
Well, no, I mean, like, I've had surgeries. You know, I've had surgeries on my ankle, surgeries on my wrist. I had tremendous issues with kidney stones.
Yeah.
And I was always prescribed.
Really?
Pain medication for all of them. and I took them.
Yeah.
And I got fucked up on them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
but you knew how to hit the brakes.
yeah, and there have been times in my life that I have enjoyed things like that recreationally.
Sure.
And outside of just being fucking cranky the next day,
yeah,
I didn't think about ever doing it ever again. You know, until I felt like that'd be fun to do.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, you know,
myself,
yourself, like it becomes like this predominant like thing in your mind, this need that you want.
I think you reach a threshold,
and
but
it
I
can
also
happen to anybody.
So I like people ask me about addiction, and sometimes they're like, you know, yeah, well, I don't have an addictive personality, which first of all I think is bullshit. I think everybody
has something.
Yeah, I do believe that. So like, growing up, I didn't smoke weed. I tried it a couple times, wasn't my thing. I didn't care about it. I know some people still to this day that smoke almost a fucking ounce of weed a day.
Yep. Can't do anything without it.
I have bad news for you. You're a fucking addict.
Yeah.
You don't know it. Maybe you think that, oh, well, it's not destroying my life. I didn't sell my fucking kids, you know, toys. Like, just because you're not sucking dick in Kensington to
doesn't
get
mean
it,
you're not addicted to it.
Dude, you still, like, you can't function without this. You literally, you know, think that, like, this is the only way to live, you know? But,
and that's anything. It's not just drugs.
So for me, like, dude, I think now looking at myself, like doing a real assessment, I do think that I have a very impulsive, addictive thing.
Yeah, me too.
I go through these cycles of like different things, you know, like, dude, I'm not even kidding. It's candy. Sometimes it's fucking candy. You know, like
sometimes it's car parts.
Sometimes it's car parts.
Yeah.
Right now,
I'm the same way with collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that with food. I'm like that with collecting. I'm like that with a lot of things. Like.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you get so obsessed with it.
Yeah, there's sometimes there's healthy boundaries, and then there's sometimes where you just are like,
yeah,
I'm going overboard here. You know, I'm fucking something else up because of this.
I remember as a kid, my dad saying to me, he's like, dude, when you do something, he was talking to me. He goes, when you do something, man, you always seem to go to the fucking extremes. And it's like, you're right. Now looking at it, so right now we bought a camper.
Right.
Dude, I'm over the moon about this camper.
Now you can't stop thinking about what you can do with this camper.
Dude, it is becoming an obsession. Dude, I'm looking up shit for the camper. I'm thinking about the camper. I have literally started moving away from the cars, and I was like, the other day, I'm like, dude, I'll sell all these fucking cars. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just want to go camping, you know? And it's like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that, like, oh, dude, I'm so fucked up. I can't believe that I'm thinking about camping.
You're excited.
I'm
and
excited.
You're enjoying yourself.
So there's nothing wrong with this. This is a good addiction. This is like a very healthy, relaxing. My kids are having a great time.
But then there's going to come a time where you go, fuck, why did I sell the car?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where I do have to...
but I mean, that's a very, like... I mean, in your case, that's kind of like a high-end problem. Right?
Oh yeah.
So like,
it's a luxury problem.
Yeah, if you could trade off like my car hobby for my camper hobby, and it's not going to affect. It's when these things affect.
I'm
your
definitely
other
not
expenses.
going to suck your dick.
No,
for my
I don't.
Camper,
I'm not saying that.
know?
I'm saying like your electric's not going to get turned off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like I've been in that position. Where like I've done things so irresponsibly where I thought like, oh no, I'll be able to recover from this, and then something so like wacky gets fucked up, and then like you can't. It's hard to recover from the embarrassment of something like that. Like, and not really like to the outside world, but like to your kids, or your family or whatever. Like that sucks.
It's kind of funny because, like, dude, it's funny that we're, like, on this because you wanted to interview me about my stuff. And I feel like, dude, this is a moment where we could talk about, you want to talk about me and my things that I do or whatever? Like, let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Dude, the addiction thing is important. I think that all humans have addictive personalities. There's no way around it. Whether you're a woman and you want very fancy, nice shoes and Dude, my wife likes just nice shoes. She wants to just, dude, here's some heels, here's this, here's that. Oh,
more shoes.
She don't
than you
even
need.
fucking wear them.
Yep.
They just sit over there, and she's like, "Yep, look at them. I got them shoes right there. They're fucking awesome. I love them, and I get it. I know what you're doing. I have a Snap-on toolbox full of shiny shit that's very expensive, and I don't use it all the time. But I open the drawers and look in it and go, that's mine, you know, and the car parts and whatever else, and you know, like, I think we all do it. It's just, you know, you have to curb that addictive, that part of you. You know, I don't really know what to describe it. Like, I think so. If you have an addictive,
impulsive
feeling,
kind of,
yeah. If you're going to be impulsive about something, it's better, in my opinion, to find a way to channel it rather than let it go crazy. And then
I think that's kind of cyclical, though.
Yeah.
I think, like, sometimes, like, at least for me, like, things are cyclical.
Yeah.
I'll get impulsive and I'll do something and I'll fucking go overboard with it, and then the new impulsivity and the addiction will be getting back on track.
Yeah, that
so
happens
then it's
too.
Like, I get like, really, I'm not gonna fucking touch that shit. I'm not gonna fucking buy nothing like that. I'm just gonna focus on the shit I need to focus on. I'm gonna pay all my fucking bills. I'm gonna pay all my credit cards off. I'm gonna get my fucking shit in good standing. I'm gonna go buy a house.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do responsible shit.
Yeah.
Until you fucking get worn down and you go, man, this is so fucking boring. I need something exciting in my life again. And then you go, oh, I'm gonna go buy that again. And fucking, you know, I can afford to do it. You know, shit like that. Like,
but that's the way life goes. Is you have to have these ups and downs. So, like you said, cyclical. You're going through these waves. Dude, the boredom gets me, man. It gets me.
yeah.
Sometimes I'm fucking around with the cars, and I'm just like, dude, I am so fucking tired of looking at this goddamn car. But I've done that with artwork.
I do it with artwork all the time.
Dude, I've had artwork that sat around for years because I was like, I am fucking exhausted with looking at this thing. And I'll literally tuck the painting behind other, you know, pieces of canvas or whatever because I'm like, dude, I don't even want to look at it.
Right.
But then someday, when the circle goes full all the way around,
all I want to do is do that.
I'll pull it back
art.
out and go, dude, you know what? Today's the day. We're going to finish this thing, you know? And, like, fucking dive back
Which
into
I
it.
wish I was more consistent with that. You know? There's times where I'll draw for a year and then I won't draw for 2 years.
Yeah, but on specific projects or on just
in general. Just
Yeah.
in general.
Dude, I haven't drawn in probably almost a decade.
I mean, there was a time I was drawing 3 or 4 pictures a day sometimes.
Yeah, but like you
Yeah.
said, it's cyclical, and I think that right now you're definitely excited about the podcast.
Oh yeah.
You know, you think a lot about it. You reach out to me, shoot me text messages, show me images of like.
I mean, it's all creativity, regardless.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's what you tell me all the time.
Yeah,
and
it's
I have
all.
to.
It's just how you channel it or whatever. But you know, like I think important thing for me to remember sometimes, like when I'm in like these cycles of like whatever, like you have to remember how fortunate you are.
Oh yeah.
To be able to focus, like me and you are kind of like working class, middle class dudes.
Dickheads.
Maybe upper middle class in some respects. Sometimes, like on certain levels.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I am. I mean, I live paycheck to paycheck like anybody else.
Yeah.
But, like I have the means to pay my stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
people out there that struggle all the time.
Yeah.
Just to pay their bills.
Yeah.
And they would just love to be in that position to be able to say, all my bills are paid.
So
you know?
that is definitely a. I think when you get stuck on a level, you have a tendency to forget how fucking good
far you
really
came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when me and Gabby met, we lived in Upland in this. Dude, it's this one-bedroom cottage, and it was a part of a historic society called the Caleb Pusey Homestead. And it's off right alongside Chester Creek, and it's tucked back in the woods. So, dude, we're in Upland, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like we're in the middle of fucking Chester County somewhere. It's like, it's pretty wild, you know? But, dude, I think her rent was like $550, and I remember like plenty of times thinking like, how the fuck are we gonna pay this month? You know,
Right?
And like
it was a big deal.
Yeah, dude.
And now you probably pay upwards of like almost $1,500 to $2,000 a month paying a mortgage or something, you know?
Well, I have more.
Well, I mean, I'm
more
not.
than,
I'm not asking you to tell me what your mortgage is. I'm
No,
just saying,
but-
in general, that's what people are paying.
Dude, I think that you go through the funny thing about challenging yourself, and this will come back to the motivational speeches, is like, I think it's important to always push yourself into an uncomfortable position
Yeah.
because you will find a way out of it.
Yep.
And I think that you can do it. You just don't even fucking know that you can do it. So
Yeah.
when I was in the Army, all right, we'll get back on the motivational stuff. When I was in the Army and I went into basic training, I was a skinny little shit of a kid, and dude, I remember them telling me, you're going to do push-ups for a fucking hour because you got in trouble today. And, like, you're going to stay down there and do an hour's worth of fucking push-ups. And you're not going to get up. You're not going to go on your knees. You're not going to rest. You're not going to put your chest on the ground. You're going to stay in the prone position for an hour. If you can't do push-ups, just stay there. And, dude, I remember thinking, how the fuck? It was like 15 minutes in, and I just remember thinking, like, there's no fucking way.
You probably got to a point where doing push-ups was like fucking waking up in the morning.
So, on those days in basic training, when I was weak-minded and didn't realize that, like, your body can endure. Oh, I did stay there for an hour. And then eventually, by the time basic training was over, I could stay down there for fucking 4 hours.
It's your mind that's the obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you learn how to pace yourself. And it's like, so Danielle ran that 100 miles.
Right.
And you and I look at it and we go, holy shit.
Yeah.
How did you fucking do that?
She conditioned herself to do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Your brain is just like, okay, this is the mode we're in. I know that I got to take it easy. I know that, like, there's things that I got to endure, and it's going to be motherfucking hard. But
I'm going to get through it.
We're going to do it, you know? So, like, to me, and that's even in, like, even with you and your paycheck and, like, living, and it's like, I'll say this. Dude, I am so quick, because lately I've been in this mode of, like, work, stay busy, always worry about making more money. And I started to realize that I'm not enjoying my life, you know? We went to the Outer Banks last year, and I had a mini fucking meltdown. And I say mini, but that's just because I know that it could get far worse.
For somebody else, it was probably the worst thing in the fucking experience in the world to have to deal with.
Well, everybody there was like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with him, man? Why is he acting like such a fucking psycho right now?
Yeah.
And it's because I've gotten so conditioned to working that when I got to a place where I had nothing to do, I was so stressed out, you know? So, you know, I didn't know what to do, and I was, like, fucking freaking out, and I, like, lashed out at some family members, and then, like, there were other scenarios where, like, at work, I lashed out at my boss because, like, we're getting slow at work, and it's like, dude, I have money, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just so used to being a fucking workhorse that I don't know how to go sit down in the pasture and smell the fucking flowers.
Yeah.
You know? Like, literally, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to balance. Listen, people in my house tiptoed around my emotions for years.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I feel like everybody was at. So then me and my wife kept talking about the camper and buying this fucking camper. And I'm like, nah, we can't afford it. I don't want to make payments. We could just buy one in cash, like a used one. And which is my MO.
Yeah.
I hate making payments on things. So, we looked at some used ones, and a few of them had, like, leaky roofs and shit, and I was just like, dude, I don't want to go on fucking vacation and have to fix more shit.
Right.
That's not solving the problem of me relaxing, because I'm not going to relax.
You're just going to work.
Yeah. So we eventually went and bought this new one, and then when they, like, told me the monthly payments and everything and how much the thing actually cost, which it was fucking expensive.
Right.
It was like... I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, what am I getting involved in? But the reality is, dude, I piss away that much money easily a month on stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, I very much do. I'm telling you right now that, like...
Yeah, when you take an inventory of what you are spending your money on, and even, like, as far as, like, take out food.
Shit
like that.
Random car parts.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy over in New Jersey has a special axle that'll work in my car. Like... it's only $1,000, dude. I'll snatch that fucking money right out of my account and like, go get it. Go get it.
I mean, think about how much money. I drink a coffee from Wawa probably every day.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What is that, 2 something a day?
Yeah. Well, shit, you're modest then, because I was drinking. Back before we had the kids, I was really bad.
Yeah.
I was drinking one of my fancy Starbucks drinks, and I think they were like $6 or $7 a cup. I was drinking them 1 or 2 times a day with a breakfast sandwich.
It's still money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying this is the only thing I buy at Wawa.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that when you like start doing the math and you're like, what the fuck? I piss away so much money on dumb shit.
But
here I am looking at this thing where I can relax and enjoy time with my family, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to spend money on that.
Because like the value of what you can do with your kids and your wife and stuff, compared to the payment that you're making, you have to balance, is it worthwhile? And it probably is exponentially worth it. Like that first trip you went on, how much fun did you all have together?
I feel like a lot of people do that, though, when it comes to fixing their life.
Yeah.
So I deal with recovering addicts. People come now to my meetings, young guys will ask me to sponsor them, and I'm like, sure, I'll sponsor you. But like the golden rule that I always ask them, how fucking bad do you want this?
Yeah.
I think about my recovery a lot like a capitalist, The more I want it, the more I'll get. And by get, I mean like more days clean, So like I try to like tell people, that are like first getting their shit together. I try to explain to them like, dude, how bad do you want it? Because this is the thing.
That's a good rule, actually. The more you're sitting here talking and I'm thinking in my head, that could be positive or negative.
Yeah. How
bad do you want it? And the more you want it, the more you're going to get.
That's everything in life.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. Anything in life. And it's not just money. It's just...
Dude, if you want to get high every day, you're going to get high as fuck.
So
right?
that's the weird... I think humans have a bad habit of gravitating towards the negative side of things.
Because it's easier.
So most people that I know, when I ask them, like, how bad do you want to get clean? And they'll go like this. This is their response. Well, I'll come to the meetings and I'll maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to share. I don't know if I'm going to talk. But, like, those 12 steps, I'm not really interested in all that shit. And It's like, all right, dude, now you're punching away at the fucking list of things that you won't do because it's just not important to you. It's more important that you barely fucking come down here and try this, and you're going to relapse. Yeah. The moment you start throwing up these excuses, and the same with me, I know it's a strange analogy, but like me buying that camper and finding time to go relax with my family. No, we don't have the money. This is going to take time away from our weekends. I work on the weekends a lot. What the fuck? I'm going to miss out on that money too. I don't know. I don't know if we should fucking do this, But the reality is I'm kind of fucking grumpy. I'm kind of fucking like walking around and like, what the fuck? I'm not happy.
It affects your family too. It affects your kids.
Well, that's what I mean.
Trust me, my kids are affected by my mood all the time.
Oh yeah,
And I'm a miserable fuck, and I fucking hate myself for it. You know?
And that's what I'm trying to change, man.
Yeah.
I sincerely am. So like, and I think you are too. Like I think that's what
I do try, but it's hard to get out of your own way sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried heroin?
No.
No? They say that makes people happy. I never did heroin. I did oxys.
Maybe when I'm like 80, I'll do heroin.
You remember that movie, Little Miss Sunshine, dude?
He gets old and he does heroin.
Dude, that always cracks me up that he's like, the dude.
I'm 80 years old.
Steve Carell's like, what? You're doing heroin?
Yeah.
You've never done drugs ever in your life. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm fucking retired and I'm old and I don't give a shit and I want to do something different. And you're like, dude, that is crazy.
Dude, do you know how many people you talk to that say shit like that?
Really?
Yeah, they're like, when I get older, I'll give it a shot or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's pretty hilarious,
Yeah, I always go back to this because I love Norm Macdonald so much.
Yeah.
But he did a bit about that where, like, when I'm old, I'll do heroin or whatever. And he was talking about, I don't know if it was like his aunt or his grandmother or something, but she had like a giant bruise on her arm or something like that. And he's like, you're not going to do heroin when you're 80. And he goes, my aunt, I'm just saying because I can't paraphrase it properly. But, you know, my aunt, she had this giant bruise on her arm. I said, yeah, what happened to your arm? And she was like, oh, the wind. It's just
funny.
like, I don't know, man. I just don't think, I don't think people, like, I think, like, if I were dying,
Yeah,
you know, then, yeah, put me on as much pain medication as you can, you know. But
So the weird thing, and I've thought long and hard about this, because I just went through this with a relative that passed, and they gave him all the fucking fentanyl that he could ever possibly need.
handle, yeah.
You know, and I mean, dude, they gave him a giant box of it, and they literally just handed it to my cousin. They were like, "Here you go. This is for
pain
your
management."
dad." You know, and you
That
think,
sucks.
dude, well, you think to yourself, like, God damn, man, like, either they think it's going to get this bad, or, you know, I sometimes wonder, do they hand it to you, and they kind of leave it to you to manage, because, like,
There's nothing else they can do.
well, like, are they trying to tell you, like, in a very, like, unspoken way, like, dude, if it gets bad enough,
Take as much as you need.
yeah, go to sleep, you know? Just go to sleep, that way you can just have a peaceful exit, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, dude, I've thought about that, and I think about that all the time, is, like, for me, so recently, a relative of mine asked me, he goes, dude, you know, maybe you wouldn't have so much anxiety if you smoked weed. Like, you have all these years clean. And, dude, he was, like, persistent about this. Like, we had a real serious conversation, and my wife got pretty pissed off because she was like,
That's the last thing you need.
dude, this fucking guy better back off, or I'm going to fucking smack the shit out of him.
I mean, everybody's different.
So I, like, laughed it off, because I've heard it a million times. I've had plenty of people that tried to convince me, oh, well, you got your life together now. How come you don't just, like, smoke a little weed or drink a little bit? And I'm like,
Because it's a slippery slope for you.
well, so that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if my life is going to fall into shambles, or if I'm just going to maintain and be a happy little hippie.
I might love doing the weed so much that it's all I ever fucking do.
So, and when I explained that, dude, I'm not willing to roll the dice.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to. I don't need to gamble on that, you know? My life is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think sometimes just taking an inventory of the
Yeah.
positives and negatives.
So that's what I do.
Yeah.
But when I try to explain to people like that, they'd have no clue, you know? Because they do smoke a fucking absurd amount of weed. And you think, and these are the people that I think, like, dude, you're an addict.
Yeah.
You're a fucking addict and you don't
yeah.
know it, you know? Like, and I'm not like, you know, the problem is I can't even explain that to them, because they would take it like an offense. Oh, what do you mean? And I'm like, dude.
Look, if you're in the bathroom taking a shit while you're smoking weed before you take a shower, like, okay, that's all right maybe once in a while, but if you have to do it every fucking day just to get in the shower and get your day started,
Yeah, man.
you got a problem.
And I'll say this, man, for the potheads out there, I don't think that you are nearly as productive as I am.
No.
You know?
No.
I mean, I'm not judging you, and I think that there's plenty of people out there that got stuff in their life and managed to take care of some shit and got some things, material things that are worth a lot of money. But, dude, when it comes to, like, productivity, I think I run circles around them.
Yeah, I think that they think because they're calm in their brain or whatever that it's doing them some good.
Yeah.
But really, your time management is
Well,
going
so the
out
comedy-
the fucking window.
Dude, the comedy, the time management is
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
So the comedy is like, we're all standing there, and the dude says, yeah, but me and my spouse, dude, when we get stoned, we have the most in-depth conversations. And I was like,
You're stoned.
well, I started laughing, and I said, you know, kind of like the one me and you are having right now.
Yeah.
Like you have those kind of conversations? And he's like, and I'm like, dude, me and you have deep conversations all the fucking time. You're stoned.
And I'm not.
I'm not at all. And I can still keep up with you.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, you think that the drugs are what did that to you? Because I don't think so at all. I think it's just the kind of person you are, you know?
Yeah. I think
So-
whatever that is, I think it just amplifies whatever your personality already is.
That's
So,
like drinkers.
if you're a
that's,
naturally anxious person, you're
Yeah.
going to be more paranoid.
And I think that's and drink,
if you're focused, you're going to be hyper focused.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is. I think it just amplifies your personality, whatever it is at that moment. Because there were times that when I did smoke weed, I would get crazy paranoid.
Yeah.
And then there were other times where if I smoked weed and I had my mindset that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to like draw or paint or something like that, I would do it for 6 straight hours, focused as fuck, and just hammer something out.
Yeah.
It's just not for me, man.
Yeah.
I would be fucked up the next day.
I hate the smell of
weird.
it. I think it stinks.
Yeah, I don't think it smells good at all. I think it's... I don't... Look, they talk about legalizing it and all that stuff, and I'm not against it, but I think it inhibits you.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to legalize it and you can't regulate certain things, like I think if you're out driving around and you're high, I'm worried about it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be driving when I'm high.
I do think that there's a lot of hypocrisy in the fact that alcohol is 100% legal.
I agree
with
this. I agree with you.
But I also think that, like, because of my political beliefs, I do think that, like, illegal anything is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't fix it. You tell people not to do something, and especially Americans, we are so fucking rebellious.
Indeed, yeah, I'm going to do it anyway.
Like, the moment you say I'm not doing it, dude, we are excited to fucking do it, you know? So, damn the man, you know?
Yeah, I honestly believe that alcohol really is the gateway drug.
Sure, of course
More
it
so
is.
than pot.
Oh, yeah.
More so than pot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What about masturbation? Is that the gateway? That's the gateway to fucking?
Is masturbation the gateway? No.
This got so serious that I feel like we need to talk about something funny.
Nah. I think sometimes when we talk serious, I think we have better shows sometimes about certain things.
No, I know. I'm just talking shit right now.
I know you are.
I'm just throwing my comic relief in there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know, man. To me, the motivational stuff is important, because it's like, I read this thing on Facebook this morning, and it's telling this list of actors and actresses and famous people, and it's like, just in case you weren't aware, and it went through all this list of, like, all these famous people, Samuel Jackson, Morgan Freeman.
How late in life they realized their dreams. Yeah.
Well, before they really
Because Sam Jackson, I don't think did anything until he was in his 40s.
That's what it said.
Yeah.
Which...
I don't know, but I don't remember the first thing I ever saw him in.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I remember him being in, like, True Romance. I don't know what he was in before that.
So, and that being said, man, because there's plenty of times, dude, believe me, off air, you and I sit around and scratch our brains about how to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
Or make our show grow, And I guess the negative Nancy sets in my brain, and sometimes I'm like, dude.
What's the point?
Well, I said to my wife the other day, I'm like, dude, maybe I'm just not really sincerely that funny. Maybe I'm funny to you and to, like, some friends, but maybe I'm really not a comedian. And that's like, like sometimes you have to really, like, do an assessment of, like, am I good enough? Like, I grew up skateboarding.
Right.
I knew pretty early on, like, dude, I'm never going to be a professional. I'm not willing to do what professionals do. I'm not as good as them. I don't have as good foot control as they do. I'm aware of that.
Right.
It was heartbreaking with the art because I did think that, like, I can fucking draw anything that these other people draw if I try hard enough. I knew
Which you can.
Yeah. I knew that I had the skill to do it.
Listen, there's plenty of people out there that have the most technically sound fucking technique.
Yeah.
Down pat.
Yeah.
And you'll never fucking hear of them.
And that's...
You know how many great musicians are out there?
Oh, yeah.
That you'll never fucking hear of?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
you and I know some of them. My uncle is another one that's like, as a guitarist, he
kicks ass. He's fucking unreal.
Unbelievable.
And dude, like, but that's the thing is, like, I come down here and I do this podcast because I love doing it with you.
Yeah.
Like, to me, this is like an oasis in my fucking week.
Yeah.
Like, I come down here, I bullshit with you, I like you like me, we have a good time. Even beforehand, I'll sit upstairs in your kitchen or whatever, and I'll talk to the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
This is how we spend quality time together.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
I do it for me.
Yeah.
And I think the more you do things, but, like, you talk about, like, how am I going to, like, turn it into a success? I was talking to our friend not that long ago about, like, his, music career that never took off.
Sure.
And what it hinged on
Yeah.
was so absurd to me. Like
Yeah.
some lawyer is talking about, I'm going to let my 10-year-old son listen to it, and if he likes it, then, I'll, do so. And it's like, there's such, like, strange parameters for how people become successful, or, like, such weird conditions. Like, does it really matter? Like, if you're happy doing it, isn't that all that really fucking matters?
So, I don't know, man. Like, all right, so let me ask you this. Like you as a creative person, don't you ever get the itch that, like, dude, I think I can make something big out of this? Like, I think that's how a rock star or, like, Eminem or fucking...
But on the same token...
Like Brad Pitt, dude, Brad Pitt or any one of these guys, Michael Jordan, there had to be some part of you, like this little nagging itch in the back of your fucking soul that is
I'm going
just
to get
like,
recognized and I'm going to make a success out of this?
I don't know, because I used to fight. Like on Yardbird Tuna when I did that show and I did my little, solo episodes where I just sat here and bullshitted with myself. I always was wrestling with this idea that, like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like, am I doing it because I'm an egomaniac and I think that I'm so fucking important that you should really listen to me? And that is like...
Maybe you just want to be heard.
Well, so the humble side of me is like there's these, like they say, the angel and the devil on your shoulders. Like there's these two little opposing thoughts. One side is, dude, you're the fucking shit and everybody should listen to you. And then the other side is...
You're a peon.
You're a fucking moron. You're a working class jerk off.
Nobody
Shut the fuck up
cares.
and go to work.
Right.
You know? And like, to me, like, how do you battle with that? Because I have both of these things telling me.
Well,
the one that says go to work is obviously winning because I am doing that.
Right.
But this guy over here won't shut the fuck up about, like, dude, you actually are pretty good.
Yeah.
And like, every now and then, when I get these weird little validations, people tune in and they go, dude, your fucking show is really good.
Yeah, a lot of people, like, I like some of them. Some of them I really like. I'm like, this is actually really great.
But it's not even...
Not ours. I'm saying, like, your other stuff.
Well, ours is too.
No, I think, there's
Ours...
times where I leave here and I go, man, that's not going to come across so great. And then I listen to it and I go, that wasn't so bad.
Well, I think
it was good.
You're worried about content right now. But to me, it has to be the whole thing. Because all of it, your artwork... The title of the show, the image we provide, who we are as characters, and how we interact with each other, everything is the show. And so when I think about that and I compare, because that's what we all do, is we do like a market analysis and you look at like, oh, well, who else in the area is making podcasts? And not to be a jerk off, but like, dude, I think we run fucking circles around other people around here that go up to Best Buy and buy a shitty microphone, and then they just verbally vomit all over the fucking microphone while they're drinking all night long. So, like, I think they sound like shit, And so that's the part of me that's like, dude, I'm fucking good enough. John's good enough. We're good at this. We're fucking good at what we do, I feel like we deserve... you're right. Yeah. I do feel like we deserve the recognition. I want people to go... Dude, your show is the shit.
Here's the thing. Those other podcasts, anybody who's local or whatever, and, I've heard them, and I go, I wouldn't listen to us on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's important to just realize that, like, I think that we do a pretty decent job of this.
Sure.
I think you do a great job of producing it. I think it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I think we have good chemistry.
Yeah.
It's important to remember, like, this goes back to our very first conversation that we ever had down here when I was on Yardbird Tuna with you.
Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
You can't compare yourself to other people. You just got to do you.
Well, it's not that. And by no means am I saying that the other ones in this area are super successful and why the fuck aren't we?
But you even just want that little bit of moderate success.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. But it's addictive. It is addictive.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about with my little Yardbird performance, my little TikTok thing. It always blows my mind when I can't ever predict which videos that I make are going to take off. Right now I have one where I literally kind of like I bought an Amazon piece of shit part for my motor. I put it on. it's fucked up and kind of leaks a little bit. And I made like a bullshit little video like, oh yeah, well, this is what I did. I put this on here. It's a cheap piece of shit and it's fucking leaking. And dude, it's taking off right now. My fucking phone won't stop going off. But then I made other content which was similar to stuff I made in the past where I like yelled and bitched and complained and cursed a lot and called myself a fucking idiot. And that video, like, everybody's like, nah, that's fucking stupid. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't really know what works.
Yeah, you can't really predict it.
And that's the blight. When you think about Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Dude, same thing. Kurt Cobain was like, okay, dude, I'm going to be avant-garde, punk rocker. I'm going to do, like, nitty-gritty, grungy, and people are going to love that. He's like, he loved the Meat Puppets. He loved, like, all these...
Yeah, people gave him shit for bringing them on to, like, I think, like, even Courtney Love was like, those guys suck. Why are you going to put them on?
Dude, he loved it.
They were great.
He loved the underground stuff. He loved the...
But I think, like, his thing was, I think he realized, I'm just going to do what I can do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it and see what happens.
Yeah, but the problem is when he made something...
I don't think he ever expected it to be that big.
Well, that was his whole blight, is... Yeah. Dude, Teen Spirit, which he fucking loathed, which I feel the same way about some of my videos.
Yeah.
This is the stupid shit. I'm so much better than this, but you won't acknowledge the good stuff. You're looking at the stuff that I think is a joke,
right.
And I think Kurt Cobain went through the same thing.
Yeah.
The pop songs, the Teen Spirit, he fucking hated. He hated playing that song.
Yeah,
That's
I would
what they
think
say.
like after a while you'd get sick of playing the same thing over and over and being recognized for it,
So that's the I think that's the great struggle with artists. Our friend, like, dude, his music career, there was things that he probably was just like, dude, I'm fucking tired of this.
Well, the truth is he's not really a metal dude. Like,
Yeah.
he likes that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, that's not really... He's more of, like, a punk guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And he likes playing acoustic and all that shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if he was... I don't know. I mean, sometimes you might feel like you're out of your element or it just doesn't... You don't identify with it.
Yeah.
And it's not fulfilling. It's like even, like when I told you the story about the magazine cover.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be known for being a wrestling artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be just a guy that draws wrestlers for people.
Isn't
whatever.
that the blight?
But that's the most successful thing I ever did.
Dude, that's the battle of being a creative person, is like the moment somebody is like recognizing you for something you did,
right?
You want to stand back and go, yeah, but this one's a piece of shit. That one over there is actually really good.
Some of those drawings that I did, they might be some of my best drawings I've ever fucking done.
Yeah.
Like some of those portraits are some of the best ones I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to do it because I don't want to be that guy that just draws that content.
Isn't that like to roll it back to what we were talking about earlier? Isn't that like the same as a porn star? Could you imagine being a guy that's like, dude, I want to break into the porn industry and fuck all these hot chicks?
Yeah.
And then when you finally get there, you're like, dude, I am exhausted with fucking this beautiful chick with giant tits.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't give a shit about her at all. But
I just got into this business because I wanted to bang Asian broads. And I've banged like 2 Asian broads the entire time. It's been 3 years I've banged 2 Asian broads. Yeah. Nah, I don't know.
Do you think that, dude?
I would think there's like certain things that, look, man, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I couldn't even fathom.
I watched a documentary one time to like, dude, now we're going to go back into porn.
Yeah, let's get back into the porn to wrap this up.
Yeah. I watched a documentary about this young guy that did gay porn but was straight as a fucking arrow.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot.
So I was kind of blown away that, like, dude, to him it was a job. He's like, nope, I just go in there,
You
I
still
act,
gotta perform.
I was like, how the fuck can you do that? Like, how, like, I don't know. Does he close his eyes and the camera's not on his fucking face or something? Like, how?
I don't know how you do it either, because I'll be honest with you, dude. If I see another guy and if I see a dude's fucking hairy ass fucking nipples or something like that, like, I can't ever imagine being able to separate my disgust.
You wouldn't lick his hairy nipples?
No,
man?
it's just like, I just find dudes kind of gross. Like, I can't ever imagine. Like, I can't imagine why anybody would want to have sex with me.
Yeah,
I can't imagine why anybody would want to have sex with you. Yeah. And I can't imagine even, like, the dudes that are great looking out there, why anybody would want to have sex with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're still dudes.
Yeah.
I just think of fucking smelly ass motherfuckers with hair all over their fucking bodies, swamp ass. Like, You're like, dudes are gross.
Yeah.
And even if a chick is like even marginally fucking kind of filthy, she's still a lot cleaner than some fucking dude, or she's still more attractive than some dude.
Well, it's just your thing, man. Sometimes people like dirty, you know?
Listen, I don't know. I'm not sitting here passing judgment on people. I just don't understand how a dude who's straight can have sex with another dude, especially on camera.
Yeah.
You know? I wouldn't be able to perform. I wouldn't be able to perform with women 3 times a day either, though, with a camera on me, you know?
I'm sure I could, but it would definitely get
camera.
boring. It would definitely get boring. Yeah, man. I think
people in the room.
Dude, I'm at the point now in my life where I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Nah, I couldn't do it. With all those people, like production crew around me.
Nah, I don't care anymore.
And I gotta act natural.
Dude, if you would have asked me this when I was 25, I would be like, fuck no, man. My dick will curl up and go inside of me. But I have literally reached that fucking level of I give zero fucks
shits, huh?
Yeah, well, and it's funny because, like, in the last few years, I noticed that my libido slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it also just kind of, it made me stop fucking caring about, like, a lot of shit. I just don't fucking care anymore, you know? Like, people will ask me random weird questions.
That's
and
the
I just,
beauty of getting old.
Dude, getting old is awesome because you you learn to not. So I was watching my little niece. She's 10 years old. And I'm watching her mannerisms about the way she talks to, like, my kids or, like, my sister.
It's all derived from insecurity.
So everything I'm watching is like, dude, you're doing this because you saw somebody.
Yeah.
So my sister says to me last night, yeah, well, she wants braces. She doesn't need them. They told her she doesn't need braces, but she wants braces. So I started questioning, and I'm like, what?
Right.
Who the fuck wants
the
braces?
inconvenience of having fucking braces?
So, like, I'm trying to tell her, dude, I used to wear braces for 5 fucking years, and they sucked. I hated them. They were the worst. Why do you want braces? I don't understand this. And she's like, so I kind of, like, started breaking her balls a little bit. And now, like, the kid is old enough and clever enough that she knows, like, oh, yeah, Uncle Chris is a ball buster. That's what he does. So I'm like, dude, all right. What YouTube personality that you're currently following has braces and you think it's cute or cool or whatever? And she's like, no, that's not it. And I'm like, yes, it is. Mm-hmm. The way you're reacting right now
tells me that it is.
Dude, it definitely is. You saw somebody, and this is now a sign. You think this is a sign of beauty, having braces. Like, there's something that you find attractive about this. To me, not at all, because I wore them for 5 fucking years, and I'll never in my goddamn life, you know, I would not imagine. Dude, as an adult, and dude, adults that have braces, I think they're fucking pedophiles. I think they're creepy people.
Really?
Know? Yeah, I think it's weird as shit, dude. Yeah, when I see, like, an older dude or like, I'm like, you're a fucking creep, man. What the fuck? You didn't get this fixed when you were fucking 12? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know?
I don't know. I don't know if I go that far.
Yeah, no, I judge harshly, man. I judge harshly. We go right to the fucking... We're cutting down into the fucking flesh with this one, you know? But anyway...
Get away from my kids.
Back to... Yeah. Can you just cross the fucking street and stand over there? Get the fuck away from me, you know? I have a pit bull. I'll let her loose, okay? Dude. But, But the insecurity thing and watching my niece and, like, just the way she talks and tries to, like, mimic things that she saw on the TV or the, you know, the fucking videos or TikToks or whatever. It's like, dude, you look so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You look so uncomfortable. Dude,
And what's crazy
I
is,
feel awkward watching you,
right.
you know? And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Just sit here and relax.
The thing is, like, I think people forget so much that nobody else gives a fuck. People are so involved with themselves, they're not even recognizing you.
So that's what I've been wondering is, how do I explain that to her? Like, how could I explain the problem?
I try to tell my kids all the time, nobody fucking cares.
But the problem is if you're in high school or if you're in school,
you think all eyes are on you.
Yeah, but I think that they are, because I think people are harsh. Like, kids are fucking cruel,
kids are terrible. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And that is the double-edged sword of explaining, like, well, yeah, kids are fucking mean, and they're going to say mean shit, and they're going to fuck with you. But, like, to me, I think that the only thing I could do is prepare my kids on how to verbally confront people and like, because I think that that's the solution. Like this whole bullshit of like anti-bullying and like, oh, go tell a teacher that somebody's picking on you.
You got to deal with that shit on your own somehow.
Dude, I want to teach my kids and then my niece. Like I'm trying to explain to them, if a bully is picking on you, you need to verbally beat the shit out of them. You need to embarrass the fucking shit out of them in front of their friends. Like you don't have to physically touch them. But, and I literally had this conversation with my niece, and she's 10, and I felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing here. But I also think that, like, dude, I don't want you so bottled up and pressurized that you want to, like, fucking kill somebody, you know? Like, I want you to just know that, like, Uncle Chris does this. When I walk into a situation, and guys on job sites still to this day act like this. If I walk into a job site, some guy sees me, starts talking shit and running his fucking mouth, I just start making fun of him until he's embarrassed, and then he leaves me to fuck alone and realizes, oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said nothing to that guy.
I think the biggest rule that I try to tell my kids is, like, nobody is going to respect you without you adding to it first.
So, remember the movie A Bronx Tale?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, one of the greats.
It is really a great movie. And that's not just because I'm an Italian who...
No,
like,
dude,
it's a great movie.
So, Sonny's teaching... what the fuck is the kid?
Cologino.
Yeah, I was going to say his name, but I'm Irish. I would have fucked it up. But
I think I fucked it up. I think it's Cologino. I don't know. C.
So he's telling C, it's more important to be feared than loved,
because fear lasts longer.
And that's the truth, man. That's how I live my life. You know, is like I would rather you look at me and go, nope, not fucking with that guy. And then you find out later on that I'm actually a nice dude and I'll do anything for you.
Right.
Then the other way around, and you're trying to take advantage of me and you think I'm a fucking soft-ass piece of shit, So, like, when in everyday life, I walk around like... And especially, like, being the ball buster that I am. You want to run your fucking mouth? I will verbally Mike Tyson the shit out of you, And I do it fast because I don't want to prolong this.
I think that's just the preparation that you have.
Well,
that's how I am, too. I've already had arguments in my head.
Yeah.
So when it comes time to open my mouth in an argument, I already have my shit lined up.
I'm ready to fire, you know? Like, it's already loaded, you know?
I bet you subconsciously, if me and you were to have a falling out, you already have shit lined up that you would say to me. Even regardless of how much you and I like each other.
All right, I'm going to start doing it right now, then. Give me a minute. What? You ready? All right, I think I'm good.
There you go. But I'm just saying, like, you prepare yourself for the worst.
Yeah.
And you're ready to combat it sometimes.
I think that's a part of getting older, though, and it's like you learn to not give a fuck, but you're also slightly prepared for confrontation.
Yeah.
And you're not afraid of it no more. That's the other part, is not being afraid of confrontation. When I look at my niece, and she's so concerned with people-pleasing, like, all right, I got to show the other kids that I'm super cool and I know all the dance moves on TikTok or whatever, But the reality is maybe you should be a little more prepared for a verbal confrontation and be like, well, little Becky's a stupid fucking blonde bitch, and I'll fucking,
I think no matter what you do.
The reason her fucking dad left is because her mom's a whore. Like.
That's crazy. I think no matter what.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if I was arguing with a 10-year-old,
I think it doesn't
that's
matter
where I would
what
go,
you do. As a kid, it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, how you dress. Somebody somewhere is going to give you shit.
Yeah,
Somebody.
But if you shut them down, dude,
I mean,
you'll
just
be
have
a
to
fucking legend. Nobody, I mean, listen, everybody remembers, like, remember that time the dude punched the other kid in the face? That, like, is slightly remembered. But, dude, when somebody shuts somebody down by just trashing them verbally, just verbally trash the fuck out of them really fast, I still to this day remember kids at Norwood School and, like, different conversations where, like, I watched somebody just light somebody the fuck up. And to me, maybe that's why I like comedy and shit talking and, like, roasts. I love a roast because, like... Dude, it's fucking brutal, man. It's like, I think it's far better than watching, like, a boxing match. You know?
Yeah.
A roast is like, dude, you can use creativity and you can just
To
you know,
state the obvious in a creative way or
fucking
something.
Brutal.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I wish, dude, someday if we ever like become fucking millionaires from our little podcast here, I want to organize
a roast.
Well, no, I want to organize. You ever seen like battle raps?
Yeah.
I want to set it up so that comedians have like 30-second slots to roast the other person.
Yeah.
And you go back and forth, and then the audience judges like who roasted the other one better.
Right.
You know? I think, dude, why are we not doing this? This is great.
I thought maybe that dude Jeff, whatever the fuck his name is, does that. Does he not do that?
Who?
The guy that runs the roast.
Oh, I don't know.
Who's that comedian? I thought he had a show like that. Maybe he
Yeah?
does. Maybe he doesn't. I don't fucking know.
I saw some bullshit with Nick Cannon and what's it called, Wildin' Out or something. But it was so lighthearted and tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
that it was like,
because it's like network friendly.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you guys ain't really like
you're not going at it.
Yeah, I want to see like nasty shit talking, like, your mom's a fucking slob whore, like, you know, like something bad, like brutal, you know. That's why your mom's sucking dick over in Camden right now, you know. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, your fucking dad left your mom for another dude. Like, come on, man, say something brutal.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's still like a filter.
Yeah, no filters. I like no filters. Just go fucking
go hard.
Knife to the belly, man. Just fucking just stick that shit in there, you know? Hurt feelings.
Oh, man.
Music?
We've been at it for a while, huh?
A little bit.
How long have we been going?
Hour and 11 minutes.
What?
Whoa, this is a long one.
It's not that long.
It's not that long.
It felt longer.
Dude, when we first started, we were doing like 2-hour episodes.
Yeah.
Now, looking back...
I thought we were on our way to doing a 2-hour, John.
No.
All right. Let's roll that outro and be done with this one.
Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo.
Thanks for listening to Renaissance Man-Child. Renaissance Man-Child is a Yardbird Tuna production. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, and share. Any ideas or suggestions, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, shit!
You talk good.